You guys still do not see my social media thing as a job when I probably make more than most of you.
Grocery haul when your EBT finally loaded? Pookie, what do you mean by that? Because you just told us you have so much money. Pookie, are you reporting your income? Because you have to make, I think it's under like $7,000 a month in order to qualify for food stamps. And I'm guessing you're making about $5,000 a month on social media. Like, just a rough estimate, because I know what I make, and I know what other creators make, and I can kind of guess what you're making. I would say you're making about $5,000. And then, Drewby King Daddy's working too. Oh, Pookie. Pookie, are you hiding income from the government?
Oh my god, you guys, wait, have you heard about this whole mess with the Jenkins family? Like, apparently things are getting super wild with their money situation and this ongoing custody drama. Honestly, rumor has it they're pulling in decent cash from social media, but they're still stuck in a motel with all these kids. No way, right? And then there's this GoFundMe twist that's got everyone side-eyeing hard. Ugh, I cannot even. Stick around because this is the kind of story where you just go, what is happening? Okay, so let's start from the top, you know? So, apparently, Drew and Stephanie from the Jenkins crew have been opening up a bit about why they're still in this motel life after all this time. Like, in one of Drew's lives, before Stephanie hopped on hers, he was talking about how they actually overqualify for stuff like income-based housing help.
Stephanie Jenkins is fully crashing out, and not only is she breaking court orders right now, she's also making some serious allegations.
Like, Deshaun has some struggles that are could be associated with FAS. I stand on that because you all want to be like, well, you insinuated this. And like,
FAS stands for fetal alcohol syndrome. In this little rant, she's trying to justify her actions with Deshaun, saying that he had this when they met, and that Deshaun could barely walk, he couldn't talk. Basically, she nurtured him into health. Stephanie's not supposed to be talking about Deshaun at all per their court order. Now that Deshaun's biological mother, Desiree, is taking them back to court for full custody, Stephanie and Drew are completely crashing out. Stephanie went on to claim that Deshaun does not have his own bed at his biological mother's house. She was even crying, saying that Deshaun doesn't have any access to electronics at his mom's house and that he's not happy there. She doesn't comprehend that people are screen recording these things, and they are obviously going to use these in the custody case. Either Stephanie is going to be subpoenaed in this case to testify, or Drew is going to have to answer for her on those videos. Stephanie goes on to bash Desiree even further, saying that she didn't care about him until a year and a half ago. And she couldn't find them until a year and a half ago, until they went viral and Stephanie outed their location herself. Entire custody issue with Deshaun that should only be an issue for Deshaun's biological parents, Drew and Desiree. Stephanie's inserting herself for no reason. She needs to figure out how to house the 4 kids that she does have and let Deshaun go have the better life that he deserves.
Yeah, you heard that right. They make too much to get that assistance. Low-key makes you wonder, if that's the case, why hasn't that cash gotten them into something more stable? Real talk, people have been questioning this forever, like, where's all the money disappearing to? And then, oh wait, they dropped this update video about their GoFundMe. So, allegedly, it was set up originally to cover legal stuff for Drew's custody fight over his son Deshaun. But in the video, Stephanie's like explaining how she lost access to the account. Oof, that sounds messy. And she's basically asking folks if it's cool to redirect that money toward, like, the kids' Christmas gifts, or even a fun trip to urban air. Girl, hold up. If reports are true and they're raking in more than a lot of people out there, why dip into donations for holiday stuff? It just raises eyebrows, you know?
That's Stephanie Jenkins basically calling us broke. She said that she makes way more money than we do, and that's everybody. Because people are questioning her job, saying that being a content creator isn't a full-time job. It's not anything like a career. And she goes on to say, well, at least I make more money than you guys. How are you going to tell me that this isn't a career if I am making more money than you do? Even though that may be true, you may be making more money, I don't know. Aren't you on EBT? Like, you literally made a video yesterday bragging about how your EBT, how Trump came in clutch, and now, because the shutdown is over, apparently now you have food stamps. Make it make sense. Like, why are you... This is what I don't understand about Stephanie Jenkins. Like, she forgets a lot. She'll say one thing, and then she'll contradict herself. I don't know if it's because she's zooted. I don't know if it's because of the rugs. But she cannot keep a single, story straight. And I would be broke all day long, but at least I can afford to take my kids to a trampoline park and I don't have to invest in something like $100 to take them to jump for a few hours. But it's okay, because as long as you have your oven, right? That's all that matters. You have a budget for rugs, but you don't have a budget for fun for your kids. Let that sink in.
So just yesterday, Stephanie Jenkins was bragging about making more money than me. And then today posted a video of her food stamp haul. And I just don't get it. She doubles down on the fact that she doesn't need to get a job because she makes so much money off of TikTok. She has over 300,000 followers. Doesn't have enough money to feed or clothe her own children. Strangers on the internet have to send her clothes for her kids. She needs the government food stamps to be able to feed her kids. She can't house her kids because they currently live in a motel. She keeps saying how TikTok and being a content creator has been such a blessing for her, and I'm trying to figure out how.
Speaking of spending, a few days before those lives, Stephanie posts this video where she's unboxing a brand new Ninja appliance. Over $200 apparently. Like, honestly. And she's out here wondering why she's got so many critics and haters breathing down her neck. Maybe because, according to what she's shared before, they have this budget set up. And then she pops up on Facebook being all grateful for their EBT this month. Yeah, food stamps. Somebody in the comments pointed out that in Oregon, for a family of 7, the income cutoff is around $8,000. Wait, I think that's monthly or whatever the guidelines are. But if they're qualifying for that, cool. But then why the motel still? Why splash on luxury kitchen gadgets when, like, getting out of there should be priority 1? This is exactly why folks are frustrated, you guys. It's not jealousy or whatever. It's like, people want to see them hustling hard to improve things for those kids. Stephanie's always talking about being authentic and real in her content. And yeah, that's how she blew up, sharing their living situation. But instead of showing the grind, like applying for places or saving up,
Because since she's gone viral, she's gotten even worse. At what point is she going to realize this is not a blessing for her? It's a curse. No, your kids don't see living in a motel as a blessing. These poor kids have nothing to be grateful for. Of course, nothing is ever her fault. Yesterday's live, people are asking Stephanie about her ex-husband, Jeremiah, the one that's in prison. She even started blaming her own mother for that situation, saying her mom didn't teach her right from wrong. Stephanie somehow thinks she's mother of the year. Mind you, she posted another clip telling her kids to be quiet because their dad was sleeping. Dude, that man is not even her kid's dad. That is her boyfriend. Second, you wouldn't have to tell your kids to quiet down if they didn't live in a motel room. Getting angry at your kids for the situation you put them in is absolutely disgusting.
her videos are mostly her whipping up meals and clapping back at critics. No shade, but if you're claiming to make more than most of your audience, like she straight up said that in response to a question, then show the progress, right? People aren't bitter. They're just watching this unfold like a total train wreck they can't turn away from. She even went off about how their image has been dragged by bitter people. But honestly, from the outside, it feels like it's their own choices doing the damage. Like, she's saying they've gone through silent struggles that no one else could handle. As if her viewers haven't dealt with their own traumas. Majority of us have been through rough patches, girl. And then she's like, the only one she answers to is God, and if you haven't hung out with her in person multiple times, you don't get to give advice. Fair enough, but that's not why people tuned in. They came for the story of overcoming homelessness, not just cooking vids with snarky hater responses tossed in.
Why do you follow along just to bully? Luckily, I've got a backbone for it. Do you? You post rage bait and all you do is whine about haters and trolls, and you think you're sticking it to the haters, but like, you're really like, we know you're pressed. That's why you act the way you do and crash out the way you do. You have no spine at all. Why not just stop speaking such filth on my page? Well, you see, filth attracts filth. Or speaking filth on your page because you're filth. You are trash. You are disgusting. You're a despicable human being. Everything you do is horrible for like decades now. You don't deserve positivity or respect. You don't deserve anything. I really appreciate it, but Lord knows y'all can't help yourselves. Just like you can't help yourself from posting every single day, even though you don't want negative hate. All your page is negative hate because you don't deserve any positivity because you're a piece of trash. You're posting publicly. If you don't want public comment, don't post publicly. If you didn't want people to dig up your past, don't post publicly. Don't NEG your kids. Don't AB cats. Don't do all this shit and refuse to divorce a PDF. And then people won't have things to talk about. There are endless things that you do that are horrible that we can just keep talking about and going on and on and on and on and on and on. And will, because you're gross and you're going down.
At this point, her credibility's taking hits because when she says they're working every hour to get out, no one sees it. Like, imagine if she did daily updates. Hey, day 365 in the motel, here's what we applied for today. Or, this is what rent costs for a bigger place around here. She's already shared so much personal stuff online, so why not the growth part? Instead, it looks like they're comfy there, buying wants over needs to make it bearable. And yeah, she doesn't care what we think because apparently she makes more on social media than half of us do at our jobs. Her words, not mine. But then, why the motel for the kids? Those little ones waking up all night, needing bottles, oof, confusing. There are options out there, even with bad credit or evictions, like trailers or apartments a bit further out. She says she works this real job on social media, pulling in cash, so... yeah, questions. And don't get me started on the custody rants. She's out here saying it's wrong for Deshaun to go back to his mom, Desiree. I'm kinda on the fence too, you know. Like, no kid should lose both parents. Maybe a split custody thing, 60-40 or whatever, because every child deserves a dad in their life. But allegedly, she's dragging Desiree, saying she gets all this help and money, while Stephanie's unboxing stuff so her own son can have fitting clothes.
I know y'all feel bad for the kids. I do too. And I know y'all donate out of the goodness of your heart. But if people keep buying them things, that's really not helping Drew and Stephanie get out of the situation. They can spend hundreds of dollars a month on gardening. They can spend hundreds on a new Ninja toaster oven, whatever it is. But they can't afford basic necessities for their kids. And people on social media feel bad for them. Someone on FB left this comment. Bro, the fact that you're not embarrassed that people have to buy things for your kids because you won't is absolutely frying me. Y'all should know by now, Stephanie has no shame. She's not embarrassed by this. She responded and said, people don't have to buy it. We didn't even ask. It was sent as a gift, dummy. And y'all already know Stephanie's video about losing the GFM the other day was just her getting ready to ask or dry bag for Christmas presents for the kids. In my opinion, if people keep donating and buying things for their kids, especially with Christmas coming up, it is just going to keep them stuck here. What's the incentive to change the situation?
Wait, but isn't Stephanie getting help too? Like, subsidized motel stays where someone's covering rent? Apparently, yeah. And estimates floating around say she's pulling in around $60,000 a year, about $5,000 a month, easy. High-key believable with how viral they went. Something that low-key bugs me though, they never seem to grab fast food. With 5 kids crammed in a motel, making what she calls slop for dinner? I don't know, feels off. Maybe that's where the money's sneaking off to and they're just not showing it. Or hoping they're treating the kids to Happy Meals or something. Instead, we see spends on weird gadgets, like that dog bed for the baby. Girl, priorities. Oh, and then there's this wild bit from screenshots, apparently from some account tied to Drew's side piece. Ironic, since Drew's technically Stephanie's side piece. She's still legally married, right? Anyway, these are from August, when they were already in the motel. Stephanie's venting about how Drew came back all affectionate, massaging and kissing her feet. Like, excited about her for once. But it hurt because it wasn't genuine or something.
Urban Air, and that's a place they've been asking to go to for like over a year now.
Pookie, you just told us that you're making so much money on social media, none of us could even compare to you because you're so much better than all of us. Here's me taking 2 kids and a toddler to Urban Air. Cost me $65. You just only care about yourself and your gardening. You guys have kids under the age of maybe 8 to 10. I would go to Billy Bees instead of Urban Air. Billy Bees is just way more fun for them. Urban Air's audience is definitely 10 and up. Urban Air is for older kids. It just is. I think Stephanie's kids are old enough that they'll have fun, but there are things that her kids won't be able to do, and they're going to see other kids doing them, and they're going to be mad that they can't do them. That's the problem with Urban Air, is you have to be quite tall. You almost have to be a teenager to do the fun stuff. I mean, Stephanie doesn't even like her kids. She's one of those moms that just would rather not just buy things for herself, do whatever she wants. So she's going to do whatever she wants, and she's not going to take those kids to Urban Air anyways. She don't care about them kids.
Why is this happening in a room with 5 kids? No way, that's just bizarre. In her lives, she's acting like she straight up rescued Deshaun, like he couldn't walk, talk, feed himself, or color until she stepped in. Mind you, she has 4 of her own kids, one possibly on the spectrum but no proper diagnosis. Apparently, she and Drew are cool self-diagnosing everything, don't trust doctors. Every time folks ask about her kids, it's HIPAA violation. She doesn't want them looking back and seeing private info online. But then she spills all about Deshaun. Double standard much. She blasts Desiree for never doing anything, claiming she only fought for custody after Stephanie went viral last year.
What about a competition? Steering? Okay, quiet down about it. Y'all need to stop. Fucking fighting when your dad's trying to sleep. Anyways, I must have gotten like 8,000 fucking hair ties since we've gotten in this motel situation. And here I still am cutting old socks up for hair ties because nobody ever wants to put them back where I fucking asked them to be. Like, bro. We in the bathroom. But if I'm not...
Which is allegedly a total lie. Records show Desiree filed back in October 2022 after an incident where Deshaun got a black eye earlier that year. And Stephanie and Drew had only been together since January 2022, per Drew's old Facebook posts. Those same posts show Desiree had Deshaun at times, with Drew begging to see or call him. Feels like this is all a vindictive move now to get back at her for limiting access. Back then, Drew had an apartment with Deshaun, and Stephanie moved her kids in. Stephanie even says Desiree wouldn't have anything without her viewers, talking about no beds, Deshaun lacking basics. But wait, Stephanie didn't have beds for her own kids until the internet chipped in last October. Be so for real. The whole video's just her going in on Deshaun and Desiree.
Subby, can I hang out with you for a little? Promise I won't be in the video. It's not about that. If I'm just gonna sit here and conversate with you, then I'm gonna have to just turn it back off. You can still talk to your video. It's not about that idea. You and your sister need to go find something to do. Go play or go back inside. Yes, I do. Yeah. What's up, baby girl?
You done making videos yet?
Not quite yet.
At least can you continue your vid?
It's funny how you guys don't ever care that I'm doing something with my phone except when it's on live.
You continue the video, but can we stay here with you?
Nope, I'll go ahead and turn it off.
What?
Yep.
Why?
Because I don't generally have you guys.
I was just asking when are we gonna get the donuts?
I told you. When are you gonna get used to being disappointed? It's gonna have to be you or me who go get him later. He done made his choice, he's not gonna take you.
What?
I'm sorry.
Then Drew's on live, crying about his son. Okay, before I sound insensitive, I've seen stuff on Reddit about this. Apparently there was mediation and right away Desiree pushed for full custody, maybe with some visits for Drew. That's sneaky, you know, like, she trusted him to care for the kid for so long while she did her thing. I don't support Desiree either, but this opens doors for more GoFundMe drama. Shady, and probably so she can claim another kid for extra government help. Just my take. It's insensitive too because Drew stepped up for how long? Now online, folks in Desiree's camp are making it seem like Deshaun's totally abused or traumatized, which, honestly, all those kids might be in some way. But pitting Stephanie against Desiree, it wasn't always like this. I remember Desiree reaching out, being civil, but the people around her stirred it up. If I was Team Stephanie and Drew, assuming they both worked and all, I'd say sue for defamation because the bashing without facts feels like harassment, especially over a kid's custody. What happened was, mediation went down, and now talk of a trial, but judges can order more sessions. These can drag on months or years. With Drew lacking stable housing and a lawyer, but having provided care for so long, the judge might lean his way.
Drew from the Resilient Jenkins was on live literally crying over Deshaun going back to his mom. It's almost as if we've been talking about this for the last year. What a full circle moment it must be for Drew. How does it feel, Drew? You took him from his mom and now he's going back to his mom where he belongs. Crying because your son is going to make it out of the motel before y'all is pretty crazy. Crying, but this whole time you have made zero progress while in this motel situation. I think he's more upset about the benefits that he's no longer going to be receiving from having Deshaun. And it's probably hurting his pride a little bit because he really thought that Desiree was not going to get their son back. And I know y'all seen, they've made like 3 different GFMs in the last year, and all of a sudden this one that they recently made is disappeared now. And as much as Stephanie acts like she cares, I bet you she's more than ecstatic for him to like go back to his mom.
People say he didn't show up, but you don't always have to. Mediation can be through mail or communication, depending on court rules. If it hits trial, Deshawn might have to speak up, which is traumatic as heck. Hard to sympathize with the parents. I just feel for that little boy. Pitting family against each other, not right. Kids being kids as much as they possibly can in a space that small. And then, this breakfast cooking video starts, and within 30 seconds, it turns into the saddest little relationship documentary nobody asked for. Stephanie's standing at that tiny counter, all proud, showing off her brand new shiny Ninja air fryer. Like she angled the camera just right so we'd all clock that it's the expensive one. Meanwhile, the actual oven behind her. Girl, it is biohazard level filthy. Like black, crusty, health department would shut this down filthy. And she just casually slides the bacon in there anyway. No wipe down, no, let me clean this real quick, nothing. But the air fryer, spotless and front and center. Priorities, I guess.
What about a competition? Staring?
Wants me to do staring competition.
Okay, quiet down about it. Y'all need to stop. Fucking fighting when your dad's trying to sleep.
How disrespectful to talk to your kids that way, Stephanie. And then to record it and put it on the internet for the entire world to see. Do you know how humiliating that must be to them? Or how humiliating it will be when they get older? Because I've said 1,000 times, social media is a digital footprint. It's going to be here forever. One day your kids are going to see it. They're going to look back and say, that was our life and we survived that.
The kids are running around being normal, chaotic children. Someone's thirsty, someone's smacking on cereal, the usual morning madness. And Stephanie's doing that soft, fake annoyed, just 2 more minutes, babies, voice. But the second Drew, yes, the same Drew who disappears for hours with that sketchy gardening bag, walks into frame. Oh my God, you would have thought she just won the lottery. Her whole face lights up like Christmas morning. Eyes huge, voice goes full baby talk, twirling her hair, the works. She even hits him with the, I haven't made this in so long, babe, in this breathy little tone, like she's auditioning for a rom-com. And the overlay text pops up. I'm enjoying leaving the videos unique longer and unedited. It feels more real.
Not to mention, Stephanie, you have 7 people in a motel room, which the average motel room is 375 to 400 square feet. That gives each child or each person less than 50 square foot. That's without furniture. You add in furniture, and what do you have, about 10 square foot per person? They can't sneeze without getting someone else wet. Those girls are at the age where they need their privacy, and Deshawn needs his, but especially those girls. You know, things start to happen once they become adolescents, and I'm sure that they don't want to be in a motel room with a man that is not their father, nor are you married to, and going through those type of things. Y'all have really got to get it together. Christmas is coming up. Where are you going to even put a Christmas tree, Stephanie? Where? And like I said, the main thing that gets me, though, is for you to talk to your children that way, record it, and put it on the internet when you had the option to edit that out. It's just uncalled for. Anyway, I hope you have the day you deserve.
Translation. Drew is actually in the same room as me for once, and I need every single second of proof on camera that he touched the spatula, because this might not happen again for another 3 weeks. They're cracking eggs, dumping in what has to be 3 pounds of cheese, like cartoon-level cheese avalanche, and she keeps shooting him these little hopeful glances, waiting for any scrap of attention. And for a hot second he gives it to her. Touches the pan, makes a joke, whatever. She is glowing, actually glowing. And then he looks at his watch, just casually glances down and goes, I gotta go. No explanation, grabs the infamous not-for-door-dashing gardening bag and heads for the door. The shift on her face, instant. The light dies, the smile collapses. She starts rapid-fire asking, Where are you going? Babe, where? He doesn't even answer, just walks out. And the video just keeps rolling on her standing there, alone again, with her perfect bacon and her filthy oven and her 7 kids who just watched the whole thing.
I'm sorry, but when is someone gonna bust Janky for fraud? So if you're not familiar with the situation, Janky from Brazilian Jenkins, I call her Janky, my sweetie pie homegirl, but her real name is Stephanie. Some people call her Methany. If you heard any of those names, we're talking about the same person. Now, she recently has bought an air fryer, right? It's a $250 air fryer. She says that she got it refurbished. So like what, at best, she got it for like 200, maybe a little bit below it. I don't even know. But she comes up on here with her new air fryer. Then she says, oh, I couldn't buy my kids clothes, but hey, someone sent them clothes. Someone literally sent them clothes because this woman does not take care of her children. So they were like, I need to buy this kid clothes.
I had to pause it. I actually said out loud, this is the saddest flex I've ever seen in my life. Because that's the thing, she will leave a 20-minute unedited video up for 3 seconds of affection from a man who treats that motel room like a pit stop. But when her own kids are literally whispering, so they don't wake him up, she snaps at them like they're ruining her whole day. In the next clip, they're doing another 28-day motel hop. Their 8th one, by the way. 8 times in 9 months, these babies have packed up their entire lives. And the kids invented a staring contest because it's the quietest game on planet Earth. They're sitting there blinking at each other, trying so hard to have fun without making noise. And Stephanie still barks. Y'all need to stop fighting, your dad is sleeping. Ma'am, he is not their dad. He is legally not even your husband. And even if he was, why are we teaching children that their literal existence is an inconvenience to a grown man who can't keep a roof over their heads?
Then, now, she's over here posting about her EBT haul, being so thankful that her EBT funds just got released. I'm sorry, is this the same woman that literally came up on here telling us how she makes so much money, how she makes more money than the rest of us, how she has multiple sources of income, and how she doesn't need the money? She actually, her problem is not the money. Her problem is her credit score. That's why she's homeless right now. So you're telling me that this woman buys fucking $200 air fryers, cannot buy her kids clothes, and then gets EBT. What? How does she get EBT? Because I'm pretty sure, like, didn't she get her benefits taken away? So why is she, what are they, is it under Drew? Like how are they getting EBT if she has multiple sources of income? She gets money from Facebook, she gets money from TikTok, I don't even know whatever else she gets money from, but I'm sure she gets money from something else. And she's over here getting food stamps, she's getting EBT? Are you kidding me?
She talks to the camera all soft like it's just another quirky moving day vlog, pointing out the mountain of donated Amazon packages on the sidewalk, stuff strangers bought because they feel bad for the kids, while she's in there beaming about her $300 air fryer she bought herself. And yeah, allegedly she's pulling in close to $10,000 a month now. $10,000 a month. And this is still the life they're living. That's a choice. And then, of course, the pregnancy rumor pops up. Some random account claiming they work at an urgent care near the motel and saw a positive test. Immediate red flags, because no medical professional is risking their license and federal prison time to gossip about Stephanie on the internet. Plus, the leak conveniently included the exact location of the clinic. Girl, that's not a whistleblower, that's a burner account farming engagement. And we all know whose playbook that is.
Like, there are people that work their asses off and cannot get those benefits. Those benefits deserve to be given to the people that actually need it. There are people that are literally like starving. They are dying from starvation and they can't get the benefits because they work a minimum wage job. Honey pie, I'm pretty sure your TikTok and your Facebook equates to more than a minimum wage job, especially if you're over here telling us that you're not worried about money. So what the who is gonna, okay. So, who is going to report this lady? And if no one is going to report this lady, who the fuck do I need to report her to? Because what is going on here? That, not okay. I'm sorry, she can pay for her groceries. She can pay. She says she can pay, so she can pay.
At the end of the day, the money rolls in, the views go crazy, the chaos keeps everyone hooked. And those kids keep whispering in corners, playing silent games, packing and unpacking every 28 days, watching their mom light up like a Christmas tree for a man who won't even tell her where he's going. It's not dramatic screaming fights or anything that CPS would flag on paper. It's quieter than that. It's slower. It's a mom who shrinks herself for male attention and then turns around and treats her own children like they're the burden. And the internet just keeps watching. I don't know, you guys. This one's been living rent-free in my head for days. Those poor babies didn't choose any of this. How much longer do they have to pay for the choices the adults around them keep making? Anyway, you guys, that's the messy tea on the Jenkins saga for now. Like, it's got money questions, custody battles, and all these wild side stories. Allegedly, of course. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about all this? And hey, where are you watching from, and what time is it there? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit those notifications, okay? Mwah! Catch you in the next one.